Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, now I will to Retelling book with the title Deronda by George Eliot. So this book consists of 1,223 pages with 70 chapters. Gwendolyn Harlot, a strangely beautiful young woman, is gambling at LeBron, playing with a cold, emotional style, and she wins consistently. Her attention is suddenly caught by the stare of a dark, handsome gentleman whom she does not know, and he seems to be reproving her. When her luck changes and she lost all her money, she returns to her room to find a letter from her mother requesting her immediate return to England. Before she leaves, Gwendolen decides that she will have one more fling at the gaming tables. She sells her turquoise necklace for the money to play roulette. But before she can get to the tables, the necklace is repurchased and returned to her with an anonymous note, carrying that the unknown man is her benefactor. She feels that she cannot very well return to the roulette table. She goes back to England as soon as she can. Her mother recalls her because the family lost all their money through unwise business speculations. A high-spirited, willful, accomplished, and intelligent young woman, Gwendolen is Mrs. Dabilow's only child by her first marriage and her favorite of all her children. From her second marriage to Mr. Davilow, who is now dead, she has four colorless, spiritless daughters. About 1 year earlier, she moved to Ovidence to be near her sister and brother-in-law, to prosperous, socially acceptable gossains, and because she wished to arrange a profitable marriage for her oldest daughter. Gwendolen's beauty and manner impressed all the surrounding gentry. Her first victim was her available cousin Rex Gascoigne, who was willing to give up his career at Oxford for Gwendolen. His family refused to sanction this unwise move, however, and Rex, broken in spirit, was sent away for the time being. Gwendolen remained unmoved by the whole affair. Soon afterward, the country became excited over the visit of Malinger Grandcourt. They somewhat loved and married her to Diplo and several other large properties owned by Sir Hugo Malinger. All the young ladies were eager to get Grandcourt to notice them. But it was Gwendolen, apparently indifferent and coy in her conversation, whom the well-mannered but monosyllabic Grandcourt courted for several weeks. Gwendolen's mother, uncle, and aunt urged her to try to secure Grandcourt, and just when it seemed that Grandcourt would propose and Gwendolen accept, Mrs. Lydia Glazer appeared. Grandcourt's scheming companion at last brought Mrs. Glazer to tell Gwendolen that she left her husband to live with Grandcourt and is now the mother of four of his illegitimate children. She begged Gwendolen not to accept Grandcourt so that she might have the chance to secure him as the rightful father of her children. Gwendolen promising not to stand in Mrs. Glazer's way went immediately to join friends at Leybourne. Before he came to Leybourne, Daniel Deronda, the man whom Gwendolen encountered in the gambling casino, was Sir Hugo Mullinger's ward. He didn't know his parents, but Sir Hugo always treated him well. Sir Hugo, who married late in life, had only daughters, although he lavished a great deal of expense and affection on Deronda. His property was to go to Dee's nephew, Leger Drunkard. At Cambridge, Deronda was extremely popular. There, he earned the undying gratitude of a poor student named Hans Meyrick, whom Deronda helped to win a scholarship at the expense of his own studies. One day after leaving Cambridge while in a boat on the river, Deronda saved a pale and frightened young woman, Mira Lepidot, from committing suicide. She told him that she was a Jewess who returned after years of wandering with a brutal and blasphemous father to look for the lost and fondly remember mother and brother in London. Deronda took her to Mrs. Merrick's home, where Mrs. Merrick and her daughters nursed the penniless Mira back to health. When Gwendolen returns to Evidence, she learns that her family will be forced to move to a small cottage and that she will have to become a governess. The idea oppressed her so strongly that when she sees Drunkard, who was pursuing her on the continent, she agrees at once to marry him in spite of her promise to Mr. Glazer. Her mother, aunt, and uncle know nothing of Mr. Glazer. Drunkard knows only that she spoke to Gwendolen, knowledge that he keeps to himself. After their marriage, Drunkard is revealed to be a man, a domineering and demanding man. He sets out to break Gwendolen's spirit. In the meantime, at several house parties, Gwendolen meets Deronda and finds herself much attracted to him. At a New Year's party at Sir Hugo Mullinger's, Gwendolen, despite her husband's disapproval and biting reprisal, speaks to Deronda frequently. When she tells him her whole story and confides breaking her promise to Mr. Glazer, Deronda suggests that she saw her repentance by living a less selfish life and by caring for and helping those less fortunate than she. Gwendolen, realizing the value of her marriage to Grandcourt and wishing to find some measure of happiness and peace, decides to follow the course Deronda proposed. Meanwhile, Deronda is attempting to secure Mira's future and, if possible, to find her family. Mira is an actress and has some talent for singing. Deronda arranged an interview for her with her klezmer, a German Jewish musician with many connections, who can get Mira started on a career. Her klezmer is very much impressed with Mira's singing. He knew Gwendolen at offendance and refused her when to help her when she asked for singing engagements because they thought her without sufficient talent. That was the first blow to Gwendolen's ego. Her klezmer married Miss Arrowpoint, next to Gwendolen, the most talented and attractive girl on Offendance. Still trying to find Mira's family, Deronda wanders in the London East End. There he becomes friendly with the family of Ezra Cohen, a crafty but generous shopkeeper. On the basis of same-side evidence, Deronda for a time believes that the man might be Mira's brother. Through Ezra's family, he also meets Merdikal, a viable and learned man with whom he immediately feels a great kinship. Mordecai takes Deronda to a meeting of his club, a group of men who discuss scholarly, political, and theological topics. Deronda is delighted when he learns the medical is really Mira's brother. This discovery helps Deronda to acknowledge and accept his own spiritual and literal kinship with the Jews. The boy of unknown origin, able to move successfully in the high society of England, finds his real home in London's East End. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.